Grand final time, everybody! The Ryzing Cup heads into another best of 5 grand final. And once again, we have Foggy to the top right on Amazonia, going up against none other but Happy, starting at the bottom left of the map. Yeah, well, as usual, Happy and Foggy, it seems like the internal grand final that we have here. It happened more than once so far in this tournament, as you probably know. And Happy is undefeated. He lost a couple of maps, but he never really lost an entire tournament. This is, of course, the 8th cup right now, and the guy is just an absolute monster. The tournament is slowly but steadily evolving into the big question: can anyone take Happy down, or pretty much when is it finally going to happen? Because it has to happen at some point. But as it stands, Happy still undefeated. He won 7 cups in a row, and now he is going to try and crown those achievements with another victory over Foggy, who obviously has faced his opponent multiple times now and needs to come up with some kind of tool to finally eliminate him. Personally, I'm already happy to just see him opening things up with the Demon Hunter, because I can still remember 2 cups ago when he went up against Xlord in the semi-final, as he did today. Started with Demon Hunter after Demon Hunter, annihilated Xlord, and then he went on to the grand final and started to open with Keeper every single time and just kept losing his heroes and didn't stand a prayer. So now with Demon Hunter, gonna try to go for the same drain mana shenanigans that we've seen him execute against Xlord in the previous map. But let's see if it's actually going to be useful for him or not. Happy with no big problems here at all, starting straight up with the Death Knight. So far so good for him. Early graveyard for him, of course, too. And a little bit of scouting is already happening with the Wisp, who has a difficult decision to face: which tree to hug next. I mean, there's a lot of trees that you can cuddle up to, but he decides to go for the one in the middle. The reason is that he gets a little bit of side cuddles from this one, and you have to always maximize the cuddle power, of course, if you are a Nightelf or a Wisp in general. Well, the one thing that he doesn't see, because the vision is a little bit limited for him right now, is what Happy is currently doing on the creeping. Ring of Protection is going to be the item for the Death Knight. And he's already starting to get some additional minions baited over from the side, maximizing also the value that he gets from the Lightning Shield. And the Demon Hunter with the Gloves of Haste. That guy at some point turns into a bit of a machine gun whenever he enters a team fight. It's just like and takes everything down. Spider Socks too. Okay, Spider-Man is in. Spider Pig. Yeah, if Illidan or the Demon Hunter could just do what Spider Pig can do, then these games would be even more one-sided, but it's already powerful enough, that beast. So the Death Knight on level 2. Demon Hunter, of course, as well. And it's drain time, and Happy sees him coming. The middle is like, nope! Stay away from my mana. I like my mana. You don't get my mana. Thief! Away with you. What are you doing? Someone was chasing. So, yep. Nicely done. Someone went for a little bit of a vacation. If you're creep, you're bored to death too. I mean, you're standing there the entire time. It's just starting to become a problem. There are no chairs around, so you have to stand. It's really annoying. I mean, you even sleep standing. It's really just fucked up. So I can absolutely understand that at some point or another, some of those creeps just decide, you know what, guys, I'm gonna go for a walk. What do you mean you go for a walk? I mean, I'm gonna go for a walk. It's like a nice day, sun's out, shining. It's like a nice weather, so why would I go for a walk? But like, are we allowed to go for a walk? Apparently they are. So creeps go for a walk these days and then head back to business to defend. But here's the first mana burn, as both of them are still making a little bit of headway, especially with the Boots of Speed now for Foggy. Foggy has pretty much just decided when he goes up against Heavy, he might as well go on to the aggression. So he's trying to keep him a little bit low here, not only in mana but also experience as much as he can. In the main base, the tech into the Tree of Ages is of course ongoing, and down to the bottom left of the map, we have the same thing happening for Happy. So both teching, at least the ghoul gets away. Not really too much taken down yet. Yeah, good luck with that. This is like, alright, let's take the crypt down. Yeah. I mean, if anybody can take that thing down in the early game, it's a Demon Hunter, so why wouldn't he try? He's also blind, so he doesn't see what he attacks. He just realizes that the blades are hitting something. Might as well go for it, right? I mean, either way. For the time being, there's a first few fiends coming out, and that's the moment Demon Hunter decides, okay, screw it, I have to go away. Who do we get? Anaconda. Okay, Blizzard's dad joke in one hero. There we go. The Naga sea witch called Anaconda. And there's actually the pass over from the boots. We talked about this in the previous game a little bit. So is now able to stay a little bit closer to that fiend. Probably not going to be able to take it down because that Death Knight still has too much mana. So it has an easy death coil available. Starts to attack that ghoul too, so yeah, still seems all fine. And the ghoul actually even walks away. Or does it? Yeah, it does. And over here, we still have a couple of skeletons just guarding the archers who are immediately Shadow Melters. Like, these are not the archers you're looking for. On the other hand, this is the tech that he's looking for, but I doubt that he will be able to... Actually, he might be able to cancel it. Happy is feeling the pressure there. Drops the Death Coil right away, and also employs his Death Knight. Guys, that's going to be a cancel. He's going to pay for it, but it's going to be a cancel. He pays the town portal for it, so he actually buys himself time by going for the cancel here, and the Naga just slithers her way out of harm's way. Yeah, and Happy has to rebuild the slaughterhouse. That was actually a pretty sweet move. That might just buy Foggy enough time to be... I mean, honestly, if you can interrupt Happy's timings just a little bit and are in a spot where you can just throw him off his rhythm, that might be worth it. So using the town portal there was obviously a huge investment, but at least he buys himself a little bit of time. That guy is actually stunning out the Naga here, so I don't think that Foggy liked that all that much. But they're trying to put some pressure onto the Death Knight. And in comes the Lich. Has the Nova. And holy cow, no, really? Oh! Yes, and she's dead. Takes the second hero down. Seriously? Comes in with a Nova, sees it a second too late, body blocks with the skeleton, and the fiends just get enough hits in so that the last shot, of course, kills the Naga. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Am I the only one who thinks that if this was any other player that the last shot wouldn't have done absolutely... wouldn't have done anything? And that hero wouldn't have fallen. And now all of a sudden we're having the Ancient of War sitting here and this is like, shit, I need to get out of there. And he's just like, run. Yeah, that guy's dead too. Yep, and goodbye. Ancient of War down, there's a little bit more experience for him. And I don't know, but already Foggy is starting to fall a little bit behind here. I mean, it's not like he's going for hunts or anything, but still losing that is quite annoying. There's again our Naga action, as we have the third hero all of a sudden in for Happy. Lady Serpentra. Yeah, very creative. And Foggy, nearly done with tier 3. A little bit slower on that, of course. But still, has now the double Ancient of Lore. As I said, it's not like he builds Huntress or anything. So the Ancient of War in the scheme of things is not really going to do anything. But still, losing that there is still super annoying for him. Now we have him trying to take those Sasquatches down for additional experience. And well, level 2 for the Naga would be nice. Level 3 for the Demon Hunter is something that he should strive to achieve too, since the mana burn on level 3 is just so much more impactful. But Happy is currently sitting bot side, is just luring a couple of creeps over in an attempt to get enough experience for himself to level some heroes up. And is so far doing pretty well. But, well, let's go. Top side, what do we have? Hunter's Hall, tech is completed, and Master's Upgrade for the Druids of the Claw. Okay. Shouldn't they be called the Druids of the Paw? Honest question. Don't they have paws? Doesn't a bear have paws? Does a bear really have claws? I mean, if they were tigers, then yeah, but like... I mean, it's an impossible question. I know. But still, shouldn't we call Druids of the Paw? I mean, either way, not that it matters, but it's just a couple of things every now and then. Again, you have to ask the hard-hitting questions. Why does that sheep fly, for example? Because it can. Yeah, level 3 is in, Orb of Venom, and down to the bottom of the map, Happy is now expanding. He's actually starting to set his expansion up. 44 supply for him, and with the expansion in production, he obviously wants to become a little bit more aggressive on the map. He now also has the Lionheart of Stormwind, so a little bit of an aura item for himself. But as long as he can be aggressive with this and maybe occupy his opponent, Foggy might not even figure out anytime soon that there is an expansion in the first place. He only has a sentry ward there, doesn't have a wisp at the bottom of the map, so it doesn't really help him. And Happy with 47 supply going up against the 49 is going to be interesting too. So no expansion yet for the Nightelf. But instead, we're just seeing him still with his dual hero setup, having the Naga on level 2, Demon Hunter on 3. The thing is that he's not actually in a position where he has the better experience on those heroes. That Creepjack could be nice, but the item is already grabbed. Did he just get a second line on the Stormwind? Of course he did. So he got just 2 of them. There's a little bit of extra gold that he has. And in we go. Here comes the Lich on level 3, just in time for the team fight, as ordered. And the archers are starting to fall. 1 down, 2 down, and Foggy is already regretting all of his life choices. And is saying, like, why am I here? Why am I here and how many? Well, the Lich gets a town portal passed over, but he's just losing archer after archer after archer. And even the creep gets taken down. Foggy is left with 10, 12 the supply that he just lost, and with pretty much no experience to be grabbed up there at all. Whereas the Naga is nearly on level 3, the expansion is now running, acolytes are being built. I mean, Foggy doesn't even know what's going on there, so he has absolutely no clue, and Happy is just sitting there and playing. Like, honestly, if Happy listens to music while playing Warcraft 3, what is he listening to? I always imagine like la 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 la, totally relaxed and chill and just pressing a couple of buttons. Like I just can't picture that guy being with high adrenaline in these situations. It always looks so easy. It looks always like it's just second nature to him, and he doesn't even have to put any effort in order to make these plays. I mean, those timings are insane. He literally kills the creep as he moves away, he takes a couple of archers with him, passes the town portal over, like, he does it 50 times a day. Actually, he does it 15 times a day, but still. But it's just impressive to see with what ease that guy is playing some of the best players in Europe to the wall. 59 supply now. And Foggy's at 56, so they're even in supply more or less. But with the same strategy that Foggy used to just drop X-Slot with 2-0, Happy seems like he is absolutely okay with it and has no problem there. And I really don't think that Foggy knows about the expansion. He didn't have a Wisp down there. There was nothing. He had the entire time a sentry ward, but that's all there was to it. So now the fight is starting, and if Foggy doesn't win the fight, it's pretty much lights out. Because that expansion is going to give the other player such a massive lead. Now, the Lich is in, well, not really trouble because he has still a potion in the inventory. The Naga, on the other hand, might go down, but there it is! The potion of lesser invulnerability gets used. He takes one of the druids down. There's another attempt to drop maybe even the Demon Hunter. Lich has to also fall back, but Happy is actually losing a little bit of ground finally. Foggy is down to 45 supply, but Happy is on the retreat since at least his heroes are incredibly low. So he's moving back with both of them. But he still has the better supply numbers. And over here, there's the first Spirit Tower being upgraded. And did he see the Blight? I don't think he did. I don't think he saw the Blight either, so he still doesn't know what's there. I mean, he might assume that there's an expansion, but even that's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, he would have probably tried to make a play before those Spirit Towers are upgraded. I mean, either way, he's already behind in supply numbers and has now to try and play this out with items at least. And as it stands, it looks like he's more interested in creeping. So yeah, he doesn't really seem to have an idea there. And talking about creeping, Happy's doing the same thing. He wants level 4 for the Death Knight. That's close. Naga's on 3, as we said. Okay, there we go. Starts to move in, and Happy says, yeah, he immediately says like, oh shit. Moves back, gets ready, positions himself, 54 supply. Happy himself at 63, way ahead. Not even talking army supply, just general supply here. And off we go. Guys, this is gonna be tough. Foggy needs to make it happen now. The longer this lasts, the better for Happy, of course. And Happy is just sitting there and says like, hey dude, if you give me a little bit more time, my heroes will be full of mana. You can drain all day long, I don't really care. You can't drain everything at the same time. There's the first mana drain, immediately Forked Lightning, everything's out. Forked Lightning's on both sides and the Nagas go ham. The Demon Hunter is low, by the way, and gets barely staffed back. But that also means that the rest of the fight is now played out without him until he can teleport in with the staff, and we're already seeing, yeah, that was a problem. Holy shit. The Death Knight survives, and the Dryad that he tried to staff to gets taken out, and that's GG right there. Again, Happy just murdering opponents. 1-0 lead for the Undead player in this best of 5 grand final series at the Ryzing Cup number 8. Game on, everybody! The second map between Happy and Foggy. Yeah, it's Twisted Meadows now, and we have both of the players starting on the left side of the 4-player map. Happy currently down to the bottom left in blue and up to the top right. Foggy starting in red, and it's not easy being the Fogster. He doesn't seem to have the foggiest on how to take down his Undead opponent. So far, the Undead player was very happy to play throughout all of those games with ease and getting one win after another. So right now, the big question is, in this best of 5, can Foggy take a map, maybe turn things around, gain some momentum, and crush the spirits of Happy, which doesn't really seem possible. And I don't know. I mean, this is really different map setup, much bigger map now, of course, too, and the big question is just remaining, like, can Happy be beaten? Honestly, I just want to have the interview at someday. It was like, okay, Happy, what is your secret? You're the best player in Europe. How do you do it? What is your secret, my friend? And he just comes in and is like, vodka, lots and lots of vodka. But yeah, here we go. Death Knight gets played again, and Happy crushing. Absolutely dominating. Fantastic player. Incredibly strong, and he's proving it once again in this series. At least so far. Always a chance for a bit of a comeback. And we'll find out today if it's going to happen in Cup number 8 or not. I mean, right now we already have the Acolyte scouting, a little bit into the wrong direction. The Wisp doesn't really have much more luck than that. So they're just checking for Blight, of course, here. And, well, Foggy is moving back into his Keeper strategy. So he's getting the Keeper out there. I was just saying, alright, let's change things up a little bit. Different pace. Move in from Demon Hunter and Mana Burn Attempt into Keeper and a little bit more early control. Let's see if they can actually do that. I mean, so far it hasn't really seemed like it was a thing that he can pull off. But off we go. Death Knight is on the move. And so is the Keeper. Now, Keeper is starting to move through here. And is now headed down towards the bottom of the map. Obviously, with the Wisps, he already scouted out where exactly Happy spawns, and that means that he can now start to move in and try and entangle a couple of ghouls, couple of acolytes, depending on how far he gets in there. But already, we have up at the top the Death Knight on his way too. Immediately returns, because I can tell you one thing, that bad boy had a pretty different game plan. He was actually thinking about harassing the Nightelf, and now instead he is eating the harass of his opponent. And the ghoul is down. Ah, that's first blood here for Foggy. He's probably going to be happy about that. And he's like, okay, let's get things started here. Okay, Death Knight is back to business, and Frostborn hungers. Talk about hungering. We have now a couple of skeleton warriors doing their thing, and the good old goldmine game is there. Wisp in, wisp out. Wisp in, wisp out. Yep, a bit of a setup here. As Foggy has now an easy time just blocking all of this off. I mean, Death I can't really do anything at this point any longer. So, yeah, already a pretty neat wall being built here, and you can't break through that with a Moonwell right next to the Keeper. He still has to play around the Wisps, of course, so Happy at least keeps him busy. Towards the top, there's still our little Acolyte here on patrol. Did he actually just kill one? I thought he just killed a Wisp, didn't he? No. Okay. That would have been a little bit strange, but yeah, no Wisp. No Wisp has been hurt in the production of this video, ladies and gentlemen. I promise. And no Skeleton apparently either. 2 hit points remaining, and yeah, couldn't take that down. So the Keeper still only has the experience from the Ghoul that it obliterated. Tech in the main base of Happy. Halfway done. Again, Nightelf is in a similar spot. And once again, the harass is coming in. So, yep. Let's get this party set up here with those skeleton warriors all of a sudden taken down and facing off against hunters. That also means, of course, that we are having at least a little bit more experience for the Keeper. Not really too much by any means, but it's going to help every little bit. If you play Keeper with hunts, you also dominate the map usually at the beginning of the game, so you can start to go a little bit deeper, go a little bit more aggressive out there and take spots. It always depends on how much you're actually investing in those hunts. And right now he's building another one, which I think puts us up to 3. And here we go, the Tree of Life. And the Acolyte is right next to it. I mean, literally next to it. And sees it, gets entangled, and gets taken down. But now Happy knows exactly what's up. And that doesn't come as a shock. It would be awesome if Foggy at this point just canceled the expansion attempt and just goes for an all-in or something. Those good old mind games of the good old days when all of that stuff still worked perfectly. Tree of Life is upgraded though. And yeah, he pretty much goes for everything. Goes for the tech, goes for a couple of units, goes for the expansion, whereas Happy doesn't invest into units at all. Instead he goes just for a crazy fast tech here, heading straight into his Halls of the Dead. Well, Black Citadel. Has a couple of ghouls around for wood, and yeah, well, that's that. Also getting a little bit more experience for level 2 and the continuous harass in the main base against those wisps. Or at least the attempt to get a few of those down. But as you can already tell, here come the Ancient of Lores. And how is Happy gonna play this? Right now it's just solo hero. It's just all that he does. Solo hero, and the Lich is now being built. But it's already a slaughterhouse that's on the way. And let's have another quick look over to the Keeper. Alchemist together with it. So we have an Alchemist in, Keeper is also there, and it's time to shine. Starting to steal one of those Forest Troll Warlords away. And importantly, taking the one on Happy's side. Happy doesn't have units yet, so unless he hits the perfect Death Coil, he's not going to get anything done there. And of course he hits it. Of course! Then again, to be honest, Foggy made it a little bit easy there too. I honestly think that Foggy, when he entangled the Death Knight, thought that it was outside the range of a coil. That's a bit what it seemed like, but yep, no chance. So he gets the full experience. The Alchemist still walks around with nada, zilch, but at least the Robe of the Magi. So can always pass that over to the Keeper in order to boost that mana pool even more and also increase the damage output a little bit. But with the help of the Ancient of War, we're at least having them going up to the top and start to make that happen. And the Rock Golem is already about to fall here. It's the experience there, but of course we have another problem at hand for him, and that's the Death Knight again saying hello, and he's not alone. This time he actually has brought his friend. His Brand the Lich. Denied! And he doesn't have anything there. Oh my god, Foggy, come on. That was so obvious that that would happen. I mean, the second you leave those hunts just standing there, the splash damage is of course going to kill it. I can't believe he didn't move them to the side. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes you really feel that Happy just breaks people mentally. And you wouldn't really blame them either. But the second that he kept those heroes around and just kept attacking, you knew he was waiting for the cooldown and he just wanted to go and try and see if he can maybe kill the hunt with the AoE damage. And he does exactly that. So, yeah. And I really feel that against any other player, Foggy would have just simply moved those hunts to the side. But in this particular setup, yeah, nothing of that kind is happening, and instead we're now looking at Foggy on 47 supply. Happy is still at 38, but of course with a way superior tech. Has now also the Orb of Corruption in the inventory, level 3 on the Death Knight. Lich is on level 1.5 and has Robe of the Magi plus 6 now. So that means that his hit point pool is pretty stellar. 400 on level 1, yeah, hello. And the expansion, of course, isn't really set up yet. I mean, he built the Tree of Life earlier, but it's going to take a bit of time until it's really just paying dividends here. So that's the next thing. And in the meantime, Happy is just creeping. Is building also Destroyers up now. And on the other side, what do we have? I mean, theoretically, we have a couple of Huns, we have a couple of Dryads. Everything is unarmored, of course, which means piercing damage does do wonders here. And as you can already tell, there's another item, and he gets the Talisman of Invasion on top of it. That Death Knight is going to be safe for a long time. So all of those auto attacks are not going to do a whole lot. A little bit of side creeping here from the Keeper, who still is waiting for level 3. But a nice item for Foggy, look at that. Alchemist, he actually gets Scourge Bone Chimes. It's good for the Alchemist, and if he eventually transitions over into Druids of the Claw, then he can also take good use out of that. Also, I was asking the hard-hitting questions earlier. Do Druids of the Claw have paws or claws? And, well, I learned a valuable lesson there. Again, they have both. so their paws have claws. Which makes a whole lot of sense when you think about it. But if you're just sitting there and talking about the stuff and not really think it through, then obvious facts like that kind of escape you a little bit. But yeah, definitely something that I learned today. So you see, not only you guys learn something when you're watching the stream here, I do too. It's a beautiful world out there. The Tinker on level 1, so we're going to get some pocket factory value, as Happy is obviously setting himself up for an attack against the expansion. I mean, it's just a matter of time until he starts to hit that thing. For now, he's trying to get a bit more experience, to drop that Lich onto level 3 so that he can get those nukes through a bit more reliably. And he wants some items, potentially, that he could now buy. There's a level 3 though, and the Flirter! The flute is in! Ilaria's Flute of Accuracy, and yeah, happy times, happy times. And that's currently 60 supply for Foggy against 50 for Happy. And off we go. Even the Ancient of War is already in. Look at that. Free energy for the destroyers. It's not quite that bad yet, but it's probably going to get to that point in just a second or two. But Happy is going to make his play. There's already the pocket factory on the ground. And the first hunt is actually still alive. The ghoul went... Nah, I was kidding. I was just kidding. The hunt is down. So is the ghoul though. So they're starting to snipe a couple of the units up, and the destroyer is getting quickly focused as it pops up and tries to dispel all of the treants that are there. Force of nature is being used over and over again. Happy actually on 49 supply against 60 now, but there's the level 4 for the Death Knight. Hero levels are just fucking fantastic right now for the undead, especially with the Tinker even hitting number 2. We have 2 level 3 heroes on the side of the Nightelf, as he's trying to do his thing, and that poor Ancient of War can't even run away. Those things just waddle too slowly, so he gets focused and gets dropped within half a second. Happy is now nearly on the same supply as his opponent. Plus 17 damage on the Lich. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on pretty much every hero with the exception of the Death Knight, I want to say. Yes, but he still has the Town Portal, which obviously is nearly the same thing. But yeah. Pace is already getting attacked, and Happy sets himself up between the base and the opponent's army, so no matter what happens, he has something to shoot at. Yeah, that Goblin Shredder is also starting to get a little bit cheeky, and he has definitely a lot of resources. The problem is that I don't think that Happy can really buy himself, Foggy can buy himself enough time. There's already the Wisps coming in, and they're going to be greeted by a Nova sooner rather than later, I'd say. So yes, the Hunts, the Hunts are already long gone, sorry, but the Dryads, they are getting focused. Again, all that unarmored rabble on the side of Foggy against the piercing damage that we have from Happy. And it's not really too pretty. There's the level 4, Coil saves the Fiend, and Foggy is on the run. Foggy on 39 supply, Happy has 56, and it is brutal. Happy again with a perfectly timed attack against his opponent, starts to take down the Ancient of Wonders here. Keep in mind, this is still mining, so this is still there. But Happy is, of course, crushing it once again. 4.5 on that bloody Death Knight. Nearly level 3 for the Tinker. Pocket Factory says hi. Lich is also just poking its head in every now and then with another Orb of Corruption hit against the forces of Foggy. And Foggy is literally just like banging his head off the wall at this point and just asking himself, like, how? How on God's green earth am I going to take this guy down? No matter what I do, it seems like he always has the answer available here. And once more, the snipes are in and the last hit secures the kill. GG! Foggy taps out as Happy takes a 2-0 lead in the best of 5. Game on! The 2-0 lead for Happy as we're entering game number 3 in the best of 5. To the left side, Foggy starting this time in red on Echo Isles, and over to the right side on the much smaller map right now, we have Happy. Okay, so this could well be another 3-0 victory for Happy. It honestly feels that he just breaks opponents' spirits, and especially on the last map, I feel we had a couple of mistakes on the side of Foggy that are very uncharacteristic for him, and it was a little bit odd to see that, but Happy is just, as usual, hitting the timings exactly when he has to, and he's looking fantastic with it. So Happy right now with a Crypt and... what else? Altar of Elders is already underway, but... what's the tool here? It's so difficult to... I really want Reforged out. I want Reforged out, and I want just fast forward another 6 months and see what happens to the European scene. If you're maybe getting a couple of players that are then with Reforged, with more money in the scene, with more prize money being around, more tournaments probably being hosted within Europe, not only in China. If there's more players that just pop up that are able to really contest with Happy there, maybe some of the old schoolers come back or from other RTS switching over, so it would be kind of fun to see. I mean, again, someone like Stefano, for example, started with WarCraft 3 and then dominated it in StarCraft 2. If someone like that would come back, or someone else could make a similar transition, maybe start, for example, like an up-and-coming talent in StarCraft 2 that says, hey, Reforged is cool, let's give that a shot, and all of a sudden start showing people how it's done. It would be kind of cool, but of course at the time it is Happy being absolutely dominant. The Moscow monster. No idea if he lives in Moscow or not, but well, doesn't really matter for this one. We have a different opening again for Foggy. So he switches up between the heroes. He tried it with the Keeper and the expansion play that he so successfully put in place against so many other players, but this time it's all about the harass again and about the Demon Hunter mana burning the opponent's hero. So he's going to try and do that again. And right now, with a quite early coil, the Death Knight is already eager to at least utilize his mana a little bit for the first creep spot, already expecting something along those lines, especially of course since he had a Scout Acolyte over. But let's see how Happy is going to play this out now. Over to the top right. We're currently still looking for what exactly Foggy is going to do here. Probably going to be an early tech into the Tree of Ages again. He has already the tech into the Necropolis. And the Demon Hunter is pretty much trying to do the same thing that he did against Ixnot earlier. Being annoying and trying to move into the base for another mana burn. And ooh, there's the expansion. Tree of Life. Okay. So he goes for a quick expand. Happy has... I don't think he has anything around. To my knowledge, that Acolyte was actually taken down. So he doesn't have that around there either for scouting. But eventually... I mean, Happy is going to send some skeletons over at some point or another. So he's going to figure out that the tech on the side of Foggy is late. And of course, there's only so many options of what exactly could happen around that. If you see that your opponent doesn't build anything or should have a lot of more resources over, since Foggy is again playing this with everything here, going for the fast tech, for the fast expansion as well. But eventually Happy's going to figure out that the Nightelf player should have way more than he actually does, and then go for a scout at the bottom of the map to figure out that there's a Tree of Ages. Tree of Life. Of course, that tree doesn't really do any... That tree does jack shit for you if you're not able to also creep that spot properly. And then put a couple of wisps over there and entangle that gold mine. So as much as it's obviously an important first step to produce the building itself, you need to also make sure that you have it in play. For that, the Demon Hunter is more or less needed. So you want to stop the harass at some point. Could also go, of course, over with the second hero and play that out. But Happy, as you can tell, just a couple of fiends, not too much. Currently has the first one in. His tech is already nearly completed, whereas Foggy is trailing a little bit behind. Not by really all that much, but still. And with the couple of skeletons that he has and the ghouls, he's already starting to creep here. So he's at least able to get some experience for himself. Tree at the bottom of the map is already done. We outside of this have not really much more. And he's trying to go for the Augur Magi apparently here. Yep. Gets that set up. And Happy sees it. Happy knows it's there. And Happy steals the experience away. Mana burn and coil at the same time, and take a wild guess which one took the Magi down. Of course. Also, Claws of Attack +6. We have the Potion of Greater Healing now for Foggy. So yeah, was able to buy the potion here, and both of the players now have level 2 heroes at their disposal. And in the case of Happy, he's trying to take down the Augur Maulers and everything else just to make sure that he has still a bit of a lead in experience. The Lich comes in, Black Citadel is also underway, Slaughterhouse, as you would have of course expected. And here's the attempt of Foggy to set himself up with an expansion so that he can finally start to take a little bit of a lead over Happy and maybe take the underdog opponent down in this series at least once. If you break through the spirit at least one time and you are able to just take one map, maybe that gives you the momentum to make even more happen in the best of 5 and start a comeback. But There we already have the Naga in position, and he kind of knows what's up here. Alright, so Happy moves in. It's like, oh, look at that. Sexy. Tree of Life. Demon Hunter now with 2 claws of attack. And also the Gloves of Haste. That's actually a lot of attack damage that we have there. So Happy knows what's going on. Still the Tree of Eternity tag. Production buildings overrated. Not needed. Building units. Schnick schnack. Papala pap. Brauchen wir nicht. Alright, so instead we have him quickly making sure that he tags into the Tree of Eternity. And it's starting to become a little bit of a game. How much greed can I get away with? Like, what do I have to do in order to finally take Happy down? Let's just skip everything. I mean, it's not quite that bad, but yeah. Let's just make sure that we're starting the tech before we're actually going into any production units, get the expansion too, and then we finally at some point have to be in a position where Happy, no matter what timing he uses, is finally going to lose. But Happy is scouting this already out. He sees exactly what's happening over here. It's like the Hunter's Hall being built now, so he knows exactly what's going on. There's an Ancient of Wonders now built over to the left side, and the Hapster still going for the creep route here. Level 3 Death Knight, level 1 Lich, looking solid here. Absolutely solid. And it's always amazing to me how easy Happy makes all of this look. Seriously. Honestly, it just feels like I'm fanboying like hardcore, but it's not even that. It's just I'm just amazed. I look at a series like the semi-final where Foggy just crushes X-Lord, and then in the same matchup, Happy makes Foggy look like a kid at school that he steals the lunch money from. Kind of what it feels like. Like, it's the contrast that really just blows my mind every single time that I see it in action. And with the Acolyte moving now down to the map, it seems that Happy has decided that, in this case at least, he also needs an expansion himself. And to be fair, I mean, with everything that his opponent is trying to go for right now, it's not going to be easy for Foggy to move in and take that gold mine down. I mean, he will have an incredible strong army at some point, but he's going to need a bit more time to set all of that up. Now, the Demon Hunter is on level 3. The Naga is on level 2 and has actually now also found a crystal ball that you could use to scout out the expansion or either the main base. Either one of the two. I'm not quite sure where that scout went. Main base probably. But, well, as it stands, it's all about the creep pattern again. Foggy is already sitting at 49 supply. Happy is sitting at 42. And let's have a quick look at what we're going to grab over at the Murloc Nightcrawler camp. Well, actually, in terms of items, what did you actually find over here? Plus 17 attack. Okay. Ah, yeah, of course, the crystal ball. Oh, God, sometimes, seriously. Plus 7 attack. And he has again the Talisman of Evasion. Yeah, evading a couple of these auto attacks from either the Demon Hunter or the Naga is obviously always nice. But talking about the Demon Hunter, he's already underway, if only as an illusion to scout what's happening. So he will definitely find out that there's an expansion on the way. And, well, let's see. Foggy, can he make it happen this time? Currently, he has he has pretty much everything that he wants, right? So he has the tech into the Tree of Ages. He has already set up at the bottom of the map now another Ancient of War. We're already seeing him with a couple of archers here, which is always fine. Level 3 Naga, level 3 Demon Hunter. He has a Scroll of Healing in there. And he also added the third hero, the Priestess of the Moon. And Happy is slightly behind in supply, at least. Has now to play around with this here. Has the expansion, by the way, up and running, but only with 2 Acolytes, so not much more than that. Third one is now moving in. Immediately, the Call Nova greeting to the Demon Hunter, who has still that potion of greater healing that he got earlier at the marketplace. And now the attacks coming in again with a quick hit against the Forest Troll Berserker. That one's down, and another kill against the Archer. Archer after Archer falling here. Yeah, the Archers are not really having a lot of fun here. Level 4 Death Knight has in the inventory now also Ring of Regeneration. That Lich, on the other hand, has a big problem, and it's called Demon Hunter. But he can't really dive in too deep. Nice, there's Vision. That's a Fiend down. Guys! Happy at 47 supply, Foggy at 52. Are we finally seeing in a game that Foggy can decide in his favor? Hero levels are, of course, a bit of a concern, I'd say. with level 4 and level 3 at hand. In the main base, he has the tech into Blick Citadel completed. Down here, though, the fight is ongoing. And now with the mercenaries and the Augur Mauler, for example, making their way in, we're seeing him try and focus on the Demon Hunter. But that Potion of Greater Healing is a big thing. Mud Golem goes down. Potion of Greater Healing already used. Still has a Scroll of Healing in the inventory. Great item setup, actually, for Foggy. Foggy is looking good. He's actually looking really good here. Demon Hunter is still sitting tight, gets staffed back, and with the Staff of Teleportation, he is soon going to greet us again in that team fight. But there it is. There's another quick setup with the coil against the Lich. Lich is still firing away, but Happy is losing supply. Happy is at 41. Foggy is at 57. Has to actually TP out there, but has done a lot of damage. Has done a lot of damage. He's heavily ahead in supply right now. I mean, compared to previous games in particular. Now, one of the problems is, of course, that if you look at that army, it's pretty much just tier 1 units that he currently has. So over there in the main base, we don't see much more than that. But yeah, he's just producing his army as we speak. Foggy's at 61 supply right now. Happy still has to wait a little bit until that expansion is really kicking off. And currently he's trying to buy also a few of those items away, and for good reason. If you don't do that, and we have Foggy moving in again and it's just stealing everything, that's a problem. Scroll of Healing, Potion of Healing in the inventory. And Foggy wants to make his play. Yeah, Foggy starts to make things happen here. Statues are now also getting produced. And of course, mana is getting highly important here. By now we have a Naga as the 3rd hero in the hands of Happy. So that's already a big tool. Those archers are upgraded with 2 attack upgrades. Yep, that's obviously already nice for him. That's a lot of archers. I mean, if you have Forked Lightning coming through, which has been taken, or which hasn't been taken by the Naga yet on Happy's side, and you have a Nova, then you can definitely rip them apart. But that is a ton of archers. That's a big army. With 63 supply, Happy has 61. So he's actually closing the gap a little bit. And that's a very, very quick snipe against the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. That guy isn't healing anything anymore. Yeah, a few more ghouls being built. And it seems like Foggy is starting to change targets. Sending a couple of units up to the top and saying, like, you know what? I'm actually going to start attacking your main base a little bit. My Demon Hunters zone you out slightly. One archer is down, though. And that's, of course, one of the problems. If you have a lot of low HP units and slowly and steadily your opponent is whittling away at the numbers but just sniping them one at a time, eventually that army is still going to evaporate. Yeah, that shop is taken down. That's already important. 2 more relics has been rebuilt or restarted in the back. And in we go. Yeah, Demon Hunter's the one to try and focus them away. Where's that Nova? Well, there's one archer about to go down. Archer eliminated. Okay. Focus fire from both sides. The AoE damage is in, and a Scroll of Healing. Keeping the archers in play a little bit longer as one of the Fiends goes down. Not really a positive trade for Happy right now, but he's at 65 supply. And he has Abominations. Doesn't have the Disease Cloud yet, but hey. 61 for Foggy. Happy is sitting at 64. Happy's again ahead in supply. You're shitting me, right? Happy again has taken the numbers. There's the Scroll of Healing that he uses. Augur Mauler is in. The Abomination is in. He's trying to go for the Demon Hunter, and he has to be staffed out once more. How does he save statues like this all the time? It's honestly insane. Portionless invulnerability, and again the staff in by the Demon Hunter. Maybe now the moment. Foggy is down to 53 supply. Happy is at 65. It's just nuts. The priest is at least on level 2 now. But yeah, the heroes are still making the plays here. And the Demon Hunter gets attacked again, just as he's trying to follow up on the Death Knight. Death Knight can always TP out here. Can always TP away. And the Demon Hunter goes down. You got to be kidding me. He kills everything in this game. Another 3-0 victory by Happy. He crowns himself the champion once more at the Ryzing Cup Series. GG and well played. Happy still unbeatable and wins his 8th tournament in a row.